What have been the big changes from a legislative perspective recently?
Okay, well, Act 20 and 22 were enacted in 2012. In 2019, the Puerto Rico government basically decided to consolidate all the tax incentive in one law. It's Act 60 now. So that includes manufacturing, pharma, tourism, industrial, creative industries, etc. And includes as well individual investors and export services. Act 20, principally, that was the Export Service Act, requires basically only to the exportation of services, and didn't have any particular requirement. At the beginning, they required 5 employees. They reduced the employee requirement. By the end, they didn't request any activity or basically employees. I always say to my clients, hey, you need to have some kind of employees under a company that exports services, right? It is expected that someone is providing services. So now under Act 60, that certificate part actually provides 2% at the beginning for the first years for small businesses. That means a company that sells less than 3 millions. So it's not 4%, it's 2% at the beginning, 4% if you sell more. But at the time that you have more than 3 millions in gross sales, you need to have at least one employee. That's one of the principal changes. In the case of Act 22, that is now Act 60 as well, individuals that relocated to Puerto Rico, certainly they have some change based on who is managing the government and politics. But now there is a requirement to make a 5,000 annual fee with a tax return associated with the annual compliance with the decree, and they need to make a $10,000 annual charitable contribution to a Puerto Rico non-for-profit, plus acquire a residence, their principal residence in Puerto Rico, within 2 years after movement. So before those changes under Act 60, people that apply before those changes have grandfather rules. So they may rent only and they are in compliance. They don't need to, and the charitable contributions was there at the beginning, there were no charitable contributions. They implemented 5K by the end of Act 22, and now it's 10K every year. So it depends, right? When we do some kind of compliance for any Act 22 or these type of individuals, we need to take a look into the tax grant, right? The tax grant is a contract between the taxpayer, the government, and so they provide some protections to the individuals, investors, and the companies as well. And those are the rules, right? And the rules that applies are those that were valid at the time of the application. So that basically is the process to do that.
Okay.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.